Now a carry for Bernard. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They're going to look to throw. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. A handoff to Barkley. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
That was a good explosive run right there. And it brings up an interesting little dilemma, doesn't it? 4th and inches. Got to decide what they want to do now. Not sure they expected to be in this situation with what they were facing on 3rd down.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And out now come the Vikings. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, started off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Underneath, this is Bernard. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve, and that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. A shotgun snap for Luck. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards. The pick up there, and the drive will continue. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Linval Joseph getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this time out. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
And this is not going to be anywhere close. No good. Way wide to the left. And this will remain a scoreless game. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
And he's got some space here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Locke. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Locke. And he's able to find Diggs. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll run it here with Brown. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
To throw on second down is Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After first and second down went backwards, it's third and very long. Out of the gun, Luck. And Luck will be intercepted for a third time. Picked off at the 38. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. Oh, heck of a move.
Man.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. It's a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. First and 10 right at the 20. Now Saquon Barkley. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now they'll run it on the toss. Room here to run. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Luck. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 37. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley finding room to the 20. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. That one 28 yards on the ground.
That's a big league run. Takes them down inside the 5-yard line, and momentum definitely on the side of the guys on offense. And if you're an offensive lineman, you love to run the football, especially out in the field where there's some space. But I will get you in on a little bit of a secret. Those guys like it in tight, too, because they get matched up and they get to show just how stout they are in a tough situation. They're recommending they run it again.
He'll get it up the middle. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Hot, hot.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they'll go on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. And they'll run it here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Locke. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 46. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. This is Barkley. And a short gain down to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Giants on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
I'll bet you as they ran out there for that play, the head coach either on his headset or he pulled him aside and told the special teams coordinator, whatever block you've got, pull it out of the bag right now. We need a spark.
When you could just feel it on their sideline, the air just kind of out of the balloon. Now maybe you're right, a spark, a little bit of hope.
That's when the special teams coordinator who works on this ad nauseum, I'm talking about morning, noon, and night, he's trying to figure out, okay, where's my best opportunity? Which one do I have? And he pulled the right one and got his team going and hopefully back into the game.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Bernard. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Right back to him on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Luck. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll indeed run here right off the bat. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll set up to throw. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
Gone!
Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Here, and bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. The point after is good, and that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 14. Now it's Luck. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Eric Kendricks, tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
All right, here we go. Blue, Lennie! Blue, Lennie!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. The Giants on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 16. They'll set up a throw. It's caught. Beckham. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Love. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Giants, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.